Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the tournament that no one believes us on. This is the event. I'm showing footage. You had some phone calls going, there ain't no way y'all did this.
There's no way we won the tournament the way we won it. No way. There was no way possible, especially at that time of year. Nobody thought we could.
Yeah, so like we didn't think much about it. We kind of, now we did say in the video, like, have we ever caught this many? Like, this was a kind of a crazy day. We had some guys that called us out. So we're almost making this video just for them, just to show them that, hey, like, this is, we told them, we're pretty honest about some things most of the time, you know, about fishing, only because I think people just never believe us. So we're like, we told everyone, hey man, we caught all these fish shallow, and everyone was like, there's no way y'all caught them. There's no way y'all caught that many fish shallow. And I'm like, well, you gotta realize we got video on it. So this is the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. More stuff like this coming y'all's way. Dang, I can't catch that.
My name's Pam. I promise you mine. What do you think?
I just go ahead and go in there. Had this one warning spot that was, we caught him at, and you can see that's what started off. If you notice, what happens is when we got on them and we spot locked, and you can tell it's windy out there. So what we're trying to do is figure out how we can best maximize our time. Jason's on the front and I'm on the back, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to catch fish at the same time, which we're doing. So like, kind of tell them what's going on.
Well, if we could, both of us could hook up. Todd we'd get the fish in, and Todd would, you know, he'd get the scales and weigh them, and I would write them down. It was working out really, really well. I mean, I thought we was saving a ton of time.
Yeah,
doing that. Like it was. It
would, people don't, like, those were, so I cut them up, but like every single cast we caught one. So
it was like catching a double.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a double for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a double. And so we would both get him in the boat. He'd take his off and I'd get mine, and I'd weigh one and then show it to the camera and then tell him what it is, take it off, put the other one on, show it to the camera, and he'd be writing them down because you had to do both. And we had an idea going into this that we didn't know what we were gonna do, but we instantly found out that like that was saving us a ton of time.
And this was our first event doing this. Like, these other guys had fished 2 or 3 of these events like this, and we had no idea how it was going to work out, how much time, you know. I think a lot of them was saying that the time factor, weighing all the fish, was a big deal. That's what wasted most of your time, and I don't feel like we done that.
No, yeah. So once we figured out this plan, we were like, oh man, this is working. Like, this is working smooth, because it's little stuff that you don't think about. It's kind of wet out there, so the paper's kind of getting nasty. You lose the pin. You know that, like, where did you put the scale? Did you put it underneath it? So like, we were always like, I always knew where I put the scale because I was the last one to use it. He knew where he put the pen and paper, so it was really smooth. So that's what you see in the beginning.
Right there.
Where?
Like,
okay, can I see it? Got one? Yeah. Got it. Good one. Yours, I mean. Yep. Ate it too. A little double action. There we go. That was almost bad. They gripped it. Go. From there, we tried to go deep a little bit, and it started blowing so hard that we kind of like, all right, we abandoned it real quick, going, hey, it'll lie down later, and it never did.
No, it never did, and that's
worse.
where we had most of our fish was out deep. We had no intention in this thing. to go shallow?
Not when we did. We
Yeah.
had some shallow stuff and we went and hit them. And then it got so bad. So there was like a bad cell that came through there. It shows it, like when we're driving through it, we were actually trying to run somewhere. We're like, hey, let's just go to somewhere where we can wait out this cell and start and catch some, and maybe catch some big ones or whatever. That's kind of why we went. And that's when you see everything else. We never left. We left a little bit to do one other place and then came back. But all you see is us just figuring them out, and like we just kind of like rotate through baits,
Rotate through spots. I mean, just kind of rotate, because you couldn't fish a whole lot of places. It was blowing. It was big out there, and even if you went shallow, a lot of the shallow stuff was really, was either blown out or it was getting blown into, and you just couldn't fish it effectively. And we just went through. We had one area that we kind of rotated through most of the day.
Yeah, and we just sat there and kept on doing it. So that's kind of what you see. And what's crazy is that like we thought we'd catch some big ones, and we really didn't.
No.
But it was just the amount of fish that we were catching. So our main baits at first were just the popping perch. We were throwing a popping perch. We were throwing like the white shadow color, and then the new warmouth color. We knew it was cloudy and overcast, and I mean, it's that time of the year. We're just gonna throw a frog style bait. Popping perch, we know, is gonna just crush on them. So that's kind of what we did. And as you see, that's kind of what we stuck with. We were just trying to figure out the pattern and kind of what they were on. They weren't really on anything either. There was peppergrass and hydrilla and bushes, and it really didn't matter. We would go, sometimes 5 or 10 minutes without a bite, but then all of a sudden we'd catch 2 or 3 in an area. So eventually you see me like, we start to think, what else can we catch a fish on in here? So I dug around, found me a white swim jig. It's the Hack Attack Strike King heavy cover swim jig. And I just put a swimming caffeine shad on the back of it. And within like 2 casts, I catch a fish. So I'm like, all right, well, this is a no-brainer here. Let's roll with this. So I ended up catching 1 or 2 more. Well, Jason ends up instantly switching to a Strike King spinnerbait. And I think I had a burner spinnerbait in there, something he could work really fast on top of the water. And he tied that on, and next thing you know, it's like, man, we kind of figured that deal out. Right, so now we're crushing them on those 3 baits still. We would kind of, look around, and when it looked right to throw a swim jig, we'd throw a swim jig and a spinner bait, especially in the more windier stuff.
Yep.
Your stuff, when it got calm, we'd throw the popping perch, but most of the time we would rarely throw the same bait at that point in time. At the same time, we're like, hey, let's just kind of make sure someone has a different bait in their hands all the time. Towards the end, I think you see Jason, he catches one on a cutter worm. We caught a couple on that, so we just started throwing, just fishing what's in front of us, and just kind of feeling, going around to see what feels right. At the end, Jason picks up my sexy dog, and we'd already caught a bunch of fish on that in the morning time. Well, he throws that around and catches 2 of our biggest fish. So we kind of got on that little pattern at the very end, but the swim jig was still working. So we were just still steadily catching fish after fish after fish. And at that point in time, we really weren't worried about the size of them. We just knew, man, every time we catch a fish, we're just that much closer.
Got him? That's that big one.
Like I will say, this event was like fun. I wouldn't want to do it all the time.
It was a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I wouldn't say I'd want to do it all the time neither, because I think it'd probably drain.
We didn't eat.
We did not eat.
We
did
didn't
not drink.
We never. It does make you like just nonstop, because I don't know why that is. And I've heard some of the guys talk to me about the MLF stuff, and that like it's like that. But it was stressful. You don't ever stop. But what was cool, so at the very end, like we're trying to like figure out how to get like a couple more fish, and as we were going back through this spot, we left because another boat was coming through there, and we were like, I just don't want to figure, like we just didn't want to mess with it. We hadn't had a boat around us, so we were like, all right, let's go somewhere new, just for like, I think it was like 9 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe.
And we rode over there, and I'd catch one. I'm like, all right, that was a pretty good move. We at least caught one more. And that's when you see me looking down at the time. We're like, I don't know why we thought we needed one more. We didn't. I don't know. You just keep going.
No, you just keep going. Just
keep
one
going.
more. Just one more.
Yeah.
I asked about rules in this, about like, can you keep throwing while we're weighing fish in and stuff like that, you know? And so Jason said, he was like,
I read where you had to have the fish in by 3 o'clock.
By 3 o'clock. In the boat.
In the boat by 3 o'clock.
In the
not
boat.
Weighed.
Not weighed.
By 3 o'clock. In
Right.
the boat.
So you'll see me catch that last one, and if you can barely hear him say, get him in the boat, get him in the boat. So I threw him in the boat. Of course, we looked at the time, it still said 2:59. And as I walked back, Jason gets one more cast. And I mean, I hadn't even got the fish unhooked yet. And you see him trying to make another cast, and he realizes it's 3 o'clock. So, you know, we were like, we really didn't know what we had. And we really didn't know, like the problem was too that when we did all this.
We might have.
What do you mean might have?
No, we might have. We might get it.
The win?
Yeah.
No.
No guarantee, but might.
Dude, we had to catch a lot of them. Just like all of them fell. Like in the 68, we caught 60 of them fell.
You ever caught this many fish, Shalom? We caught a bunch of fish.
No, I know we did. Like, there's times like.
Think about how many, it felt like we really caught a lot, but think about the fact that we caught like 15 to 17 this morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what if someone didn't start off this morning like that? Think about how many fish they would have had to have caught to catch up.
Yeah.
That's the way you go. Like, our morning was freaking legit.
Our morning, if they had not shut off and we could finish the whole sheet there and came and done this, man. Now, I don't know why they shut off. Maybe they felt that weather fixing to change.
Or they left.
Huh?
Or they left.
Got me one more at a minute, son.
That was the game winner right there.
What if it was? What if we win by like a pound? I caught one last second.
You've done it for the team.
I did it for the team.
Other guys had already done this, right? So they knew to like, they took pictures of all their fish, of all their sheets.
That's right, all their sheets.
Yeah.
Of all the weights. All their fish and all their weight. Like, it shows every fish, what every fish weighed. If it was over a pound.
Right.
That's all we recorded was anything over
You're
a
right.
pound.
We kind of semi-added it up. Like I would add up like, okay, we had around this many fish. I wouldn't even count them all. We just counted the pages, but the pages were kind of messed up. Did all that. I was like, man, we got like I had recorded some of them on by a picture just so we didn't lose them throughout the day, but I didn't do the last page because we were done with it, and so we were like, we're going straight to the weigh-in because we were worried about it getting wet through all the rain. They had their own camera that they gave us, so this is our camera. They gave us one, so we basically had 2 cameras working. And so we get there, turn in all of our stuff. Some guys had called us and like, well, how much did y'all have? And we're like, we don't know. We think about this. Well, they thought we were joking. And like, why didn't y'all record? And we're like, well, we got close to, I mean, we got close. I mean, they knew it down to like
yeah,
the
they knew
ounce.
they knew it down to like at least a pound, at least pretty dang close to the pound is what they knew it by.
Yeah, and we just knew we were over. We just knew we were over 100 something.
Yeah.
So anyways, we get done and we get phone calls. I mean, it is like, and me and Jason now start trying to figure out if we might have won this thing, and we're trying to go through like every fish, and the app we were using,
The service was bad,
right?
So it would take a long time for it to catch up.
Right. So that we only had like 30 fish at one time, and then it started updating, and then it was at 60, and then at 68. But the guys that run the tournament go back through and watch every single fish catch. So on every single fish catch, you're supposed to weigh them, show them to the camera. So you show the fish on there with the weight. And we did that except for one. Actually, I'd show it, but one of the times I just kind of held it here thinking that they could see it. And I think my body got in the way of one of them. It was 1 over 2 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jason's like, man, it's getting really close. And I'm like, and we found out later that they did not count that one fish, which, like, hey, man, it was
fair.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was fair. It's my
We
fault. First time ever doing this to catch 68 fish and get 67 of them or whatever it was. It worked out. But so we won this event. We ended up winning we had 100.
We will. Let's see.
108.
Yes, but like I think we won by .38.
Yeah, I think it was. I think we had
37.
a 108.6 something, and another team. We'll throw them a shout out, Shane and Wyatt.
Yeah.
From Tacklight, they had 108.3. So
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
but,
It was really, really close.
yeah, but that's incredible that you fish all day long for 8 hours and you catch that many fish and that much weight, and it still comes down to 0.3.
0.3.
So that was the event we had. It's been a while. I was always gonna do this video, but I've been waiting for us to have time to kind of talk about it and what happened, and other things have been going on, and I totally kind of forgot about it. It was
Lone Star Bass
Trail, and it was Honest Mike.
Honest Mike, that's right.
Who puts it on there. So he did a good job, man.
Yeah,
Thanks a
real
lot.
good job.
And check them out. Like, they were really fun. Like, we were like, hey, when this was over, we were like, we're going to go do another one
Sure.
of these. Like
Sure,
if
for
they
sure.
if they put one on this weekend, we'd
Yes,
go do one
for sure.
We'd probably get killed,
Probably.
but we would go do them because like doing them every once in a while was pretty fun. We went $2,500.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a fun tournament.
It's a
for
fun
sure.
tournament, and you can go. You can either fish for all your fish over 1 pound, or you could go for a 5 fish limit.
Like a regular tournament.
Yes.
Like
Or you could go for both in the same deal.
We went for both. We went for
Right.
both, and we did not come close
Even
to the 5
come
fish.
close.
But it didn't matter. The bigger tournament was the most weight.
Yes.
So that's it. Let me know what y'all think. I appreciate it. See y'all.